Hello, hello, hello. How you guys doing? Been a while on here, so that's fun here. Now, I want to talk about something that's very serious, very, very serious. Um, this is probably going to be a controversial topic. Okay, maybe. There are victims of different abuse: mental, emotional, physical, all the above, and both victims can be both men and women. And the reason I'm saying that is because women aren't the only victims of mental, emotional, physical abuse or sexual abuse. Men can be victims too. I know that's hard to believe, but it happens. It is. It's fact. Now I've uh, read news articles and court cases throughout the years, throughout the decades of women. For example, Marjorie Mason. There's a center here in Fresno named after her, the Marjorie Mason Center, and she was murdered by her boyfriend, beat her psychologically, emotional, physically, and he ended up taking her life. Ended up taking her life, and it's one of the scariest stories to hear, but it happened. Um, Women to abuse men, just like men can abuse women, psychologically, physically, emotionally, you name it. Um, there's a I want to do a example story here. To put bluntly, you have Jane, beautiful Jane. Let's say she's 25 years old. The guy she's with, let's call him Dick. Dick, because he's a dick. Got out of prison. He's up. He's violated parole numerous times. Very manipulative, very violent, insane, very narcissistic, very ego driven. Dick thinks he has to control Jane. Thinks he has a right to put his hands on Jane. Then you have blue collar Jed, factory worker guy, blue collar guy, faithful guy. He worries about Jane because she's in crazy land with Dick. Okay, so Little Dick has been really given hard a hard time. Blue Collar Jed is worried about Jane because she's suffering from PTSD and has some form of Stockholm syndrome. Little Dick a few times have tried to kill Jane. And Blue Collar Jed. Very scared, very worried about Jane. Now, imagine if the roles were reversed. Jane becomes Tom. Tom suffers from PTSD and Stockholm syndrome. You have Sherry, very manipulative, very emotionally abusive, mentally abusive. Then you have Blue Collar Beth, worried about Tom. She loves Tom. Well, Backseat Sherry, very vindictive, manipulative, narcissistic, mentally controlling, very abusive, very greedy. She reads Tom's messages on his phone computer. She has Tom followed because he works. See, Tom and Jane very similar in different ways. Little Dick and Backseat Sherry, same thing, very similar. Blue Collar Jed and Blue Collar Beth. Work hard, very loyal. Now, Backseat Sherry, like Little Dick, is on parole. She also has violated her parole many times, not giving a shit. Now, there is, a love triangle happens. Someone dies. Someone goes to prison. And it's a very, very sad case. Very, very sad case. Tom and Jane, both victims. Little Dick and Backseat Sherry, conniving, arrogant, vindictive, mentally and emotionally, as well as somewhat physically. Back to Blue Collar Beth and Blue Collar worried about Tom and Jane. Don't know what to do. They want to help Tom and Jane because Little Dick and Backseat Sherry are vindictive, maniacal, manipulative. So, due to these stories here, is that it does happen. There's been cases, but cases are rarely heard. Uh, how can blue collar Beth and blue collar Jed help Tom and Jane? Beth loves Tom. Jed loves Jane. Little Dick and Backseat Sherry, they're willing, whatever it takes, to not go back to prison. Moral of these stories is that it does happen to both men and women. Women can be victims, so can men. There are women out there that are very vindictive, narcissistic, manipulative, control freak, power hungry. The basic control over the person, they will do anything to keep. They will get what they want when they want it, how they want it, does not matter the outcome. They don't care. So now I've been in this video to make an awareness of the abuse. This can happen even when you're married. Your husband or your wife does the same thing to you. Women have a much higher rate of being abused physically, mentally, emotionally because they're married to cops and they take their job out on their wives. Women can do the same exact thing. I'm not saying that cops are all cops are bad. Some officers, men and women, who have that uh, emotional issues here. I can understand the job can take a toll on somebody, but it may take where somebody had learned it from somebody in their family, sibling, parent, you name it, because they grow up thinking it's okay. They're thinking it's okay. Well, it's not okay. I used to date this chick years ago. Okay, I used to date this in high school, and she's very vindictive, manipulative, and shit like that. You know, she didn't give a crap. You know, very controlling, very control freaking shit. You know, and I've been there, done that. You know, it was more emotional than it was physical, mental as well. If it wasn't for my wife, you know, she helped me out 100%. Um, I thank her. for giving me a second chance, being normal, being in a relationship into a marriage, all within a year. I'm happy, dude. But I haven't seen the chick in 20 years until like recently, about a few years ago. She came to my parents' house, opened the door. Holy fuck! Here, what is she doing there? That's what I'm thinking. Like, what are you fucking doing here? Because I vowed to never see this chick again. And after a while, my mistake was we started hanging out. That all that shit started to show that she hasn't changed. She's the same vindictive, maniacal, manipulative cunt I've known for 20 smart years. She hasn't changed. She's been in jail multiple times. I'm glad I didn't end up dead. No. Just don't wish this on anybody, man. Because you know what? I mean, you have a right not to get abused. Mentally, emotionally, physically, psychologically abused, man. Come on, dude. Even sexually abused, dude. Look, there are people that have issues, man. Issues that when somebody starts to abuse somebody, they'll say, "I'm sorry, I'll I'll never do it again." Okay, but it'll still happen. It's like if a woman that's been in a relationship that almost died, PTSD, keeps going back, leaves, come back, leaves, come back. Something is wrong there, folks. It is really, really wrong there. If you were a victim, or if you know somebody that was a victim, call for help. Call for help. It may your life. If you have friends that see the signs, listen to them. Because maybe your friends have been there, done that, and know the signs. They know the signs, listen to them. He hasn't changed one bit. He's still the same asshole that tried to kill you several times. Leave. We're good. Have a backup plan. Have a backup plan. Have a secondary or tertiary email address. Have a backup cell phone. Have a backup plan when you leave for good. Because your better half, he or she, will not stop until they find you. Have a backup vehicle. Have a backup plan of a set of clothes. It may save your life. If you have to, change your look. If you have to work comps, dye your hair. Dash, put cameras all over in your vehicle as well as audio in your vehicle. Because it will record everything. And you have always have a backup plan. If you finally have a backup, always have a backup plan. If you have to buy a prepaid cell phone, get a burnt phone, big phone. Download a VPN. I highly recommend Orbot VPN. Put it on auto because it'll change daily. Have a encrypted text message signal or telegram. These things will save your life. It will save your life. If you have friends and family who's been in your position and they know the signs, listen. Listen. Because there are victims, there are real victims of abuse. Big time. Big time. Men and women, if your husband or wife, boyfriend is being physical, emotional, mental, it's the best thing you've got. Have a backup plan. Huge backup plan. You got kids, big time backup plan. I'm Grandmaster Evan. This I'm Grandmaster Evan. Knowledge is free, knowledge is power. Always a health of you guys. Now, see, and if you're new to this channel, please leave a like, subscribe, comment below.